When Doves Fly by Monchoir.
Nurse, nurse, come quick. Suki get the baby, come quick. Suki get the baby. Them say a complication, nurse. Suki not stop bleed.
Nurse knew it was a case she must respond to. She was an experienced midwife, but her primary duties pertained to being the village health visitor, attending to clinics, immunisations, school visits, public health education and food drives, to name a few. There was another midwife who was also positioned in the village to solely respond to delivering babies. Nurse's role in most cases was that of an expert where, should complications develop during a routine delivery, she would intervene and give expert guidance and management. Nurse also responded in cases where the patient was deemed high risk.
Suki, bleeding?
Nurse knew she had to go. She awoken her eldest daughter and asked her to accompany her on the case. Elsa was always willing, eager, and happy to join her mother, Nurse, on these missions. It was always a thrill to see her mother arrive at a home, disappear into a bedroom, and after what seems like an eternity of wails and screams from the labouring mother, the welcoming cry of a newborn baby. To hear Nurse proclaim, "It's a boy," or "It's a girl," was the most treasured moments of all. Suki was well known to Nurse. A fragile 35-year-old, she had already birthed 10 children. Surrounded by helpful extended family members, each new baby was a welcome testimony to the level of loving family support Suki was blessed with. Nurse knew that Suki was weakening. Constitutionally, Suki could no longer sustain the baby-to-baby state. That had been her reality for as long as she could remember. The last time Suki returned from maternity leave, pregnant again. Nurse had the opportunity to finally convince both Suki and her husband to have her tubes tied. This was going to be their last baby. As they headed towards Suki's home, Nurse reflected on her medical course. Based on calculations, the baby was a few weeks premature. Something had gone wrong since the time she last saw Suki in clinic. Nurse began to question the husband.
How long has she been in labor?
The pain started since yesterday. Then last night, we call Aunt Lily.
Aunt Lily? Who is Aunt Lily?
She one lady that does deliver picnic. She come and she said the baby head not down. So she said Suki got for stamp on she head for deliver picnic. Picnic barn, but Suki not stop bleed.
Nurse knew this was serious. She had to get there. She urged the husband to drive a little faster. They arrived at the home and Nurse jumped out. Elsa, Nurse's daughter, followed everyone up the stairs, and at the top they were greeted by a woman carrying a swaddled infant who was well powdered with a familiar-smelling baby talc.
Look, Nurse, I want baby.
Nurse pushed past her and everyone else. She knew the home. She had been there so many times, so many deliveries. This time was different. Suki was in trouble. She had to get to Suki. Nurse pushed by the peering eyes of Suki's children from big to small, each with a look of deep fear and understanding that something was wrong with their mother. Nurse found a semi-conscious Suki, hysterical and thrashing about the bed. Suki appeared dry and pale. Her blood pressure was very low and falling. She needed emergency medical management and fast. Nurse demanded immediate transport to the nearest hospital, which was about 20 minutes away. While waiting for manpower to help lift Suki to the car, Aunt Lily said,
Nurse, make me show you something.
She then pulled from beneath the bed 3 basins full of clotted and otherwise congealed blood that came from Suki after the baby was born. Suki had had significant hemorrhage and was therefore critically ill. The drive to the hospital was especially difficult for Suki. She kept screaming, swearing and crying. Nurse kept reassuring her that they will get help soon. They finally arrived at the hospital and quickly lifted Suki into the emergency room. Elsa was asked to wait in the car. At least 2 hours passed before Elsa saw signs of movement in the distance. They were on their way back. Elsa noticed for the first time her mother's stained white uniform, the familiar brown stain of the then available agent, a solution of ergotamine, which was used to control postpartum hemorrhage. Nurse appeared sad, beaten and pensive. They arrived at the car, opened the doors and got in. Then the sad announcement. Suki had died.
Why do they trust these old wives?
Nurse thought to herself.